Hello everyone and welcome to today's gaming test of the brand new OPPO Find X9 Pro. Now, I am very excited because this marks the brand new generation because we are now using the next generation of chipsets, and this phone is powered by the Dimensity 9500, and we have also upgraded to 4K resolution for our gaming test. So yeah, if you just head down there and change the settings, or if your mobile phone press wherever you want, you can change this video to 4K resolution so you can see the details better if you want to do that. And also please remember to hit that like and subscribe button because we are constantly gonna upgrade our setup to bring you better videos for this kind of gaming tests. So without further ado, let's just go in and see our specs first. So the OPPO Find X9 Pro. The reason why I'm doing this gaming test on, what day is this today again, 26th of October, is because there were lots of updates when I got this phone, so I had to delay all of the testing a little bit so that I can, get a better idea of what the final product will be. So when you buy this phone and get it on your hands, it will be more, how do you say this, consistent with our tests? Yeah. So the SoC is gonna be the MediaTek Dimensity 9500. It doesn't show here because this app has not been updated yet. But if we head into the settings menu and go into about device, you can see it is the MediaTek Dimensity 9500. For the global version, you are also gonna get 7500 mAh battery. They should have used watt hours, but it's kind of difficult to change this kind of naming convention. As for the RAM, we have 16 gigs of it, and also 12 gigs of it is via the virtual RAM feature. And cameras, I'm not going to talk about it here because we have yet another video talking about the cameras, as I brought this phone to Taipei to take a lot of pictures with it. So the screen is 2772 by 1272 pixels, and it also goes up to 120 Hz. Pretty typical, though it is higher than 1080p, which is good. And for our particular version, 512 gigs. So let's get started with the setup process because there are quite a few changes here and there. So the first thing that you can see is that you can swipe in from here, and then you can select what kind of performance mode that you want to use. You can use it in power saving, which does lower a lot of the gaming features, balance, which is the default, but I will just use it in pro gamer mode. You can also change the screen refresh rate and also increase your touch response speed. I'm not going to do that here because I am indeed using a controller. This is the GuliKit KK3 Max, and that controller, well, we are technically relying on the Bluetooth polling rate instead of the touch sampling rate of the screen if we're using an external controller. And my gaming performance, this one you can finely tune a lot more things, which I'm also not going to do, just use it all in default. And then going further down is where the tools are located. So in all of these settings, a few things stand out. Number one, we can disable all of the bullet notifications and then also enable system status. So we have this little floating widget here, which I will leave on because they do show us the GPU utilization, but V2Scene does not. I have no idea what's going on there, but this is how things go. And then here are all of the other features that we have. We also have bypass charging, which is good. And I can show you by using yet another power bank that I have. As you can see, we cannot enable bypass charging right now because there's no charger plugged in. So let me just plug it in, charging, and then we can enable bypass charging. Yeah. Boop. There we go. Yeah, if you always plug in your phone to the charger while playing a game, then bypass charging is a feature that you should turn on. And then moving down further, there's really nothing much to talk about here. Game Assistant. Yeah, this widget is called Game Assistant, so you can change where it appears and whatnot. Yeah, not gonna talk all about that. So let's proceed with the gaming test, and we'll start off with Genshin Impact. So the settings that we're using here is the absolute highest. Oh, I gotta move all of these things away. So everything at the absolute highest 60 FPS, and yeah, these are all of the settings that we will use, also in Vulkan API, which is great. So I've been out of the game for a very long time. I think this is version 6.1 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, there's a brand new region up at the top here. You know what, I'll just walk around and explore, I guess. Yeah, let's do that. No, I will have to farm for the Lao Ma first. I have not gotten anything for her.
Silence! Fallen leaves adorn my night.
I'm a bit rusty here. I have not played this game for so long to the point that I'm not really familiar with the controls anymore, but I'll try my best. So one thing I have to highlight is that Genshin Impact isn't actually the most demanding game anymore, because, well, a few years ago this game would have been real difficult to run, but nowadays it's no problem for any modern chipset phones, even for the MediaTek Dimensity 9400. So I wouldn't expect it to have any issues with the new Dimensity 9500. Yeah. Ah, wrong button.
Stay focused. Bring it. Settle down. Silence.
What is this bagpipe music?
Is it what you wish to find? Hopefully the excitement of opening a treasure chest has at least made it a worthwhile experience. Hopefully the excitement of opening a treasure chest has at least made it a worthwhile experience.
There are so many weird things in this new region. Whoop, there we go, yapping fiasco. I can't believe this game has been out for like what, 5 years and we still cannot skip any cutscenes or fast forward the text. So far all I can see now is that the temperature is looking real good, 36.2 degrees Celsius. CPU and GPU utilization, well, the CPU is kinda spiking up, but GPU is not.
Bow your head. That hurts. One with nature.
The frame rate did lower a bit while in combat, but
These items into your possession.
really nothing out of the ordinary here. It's not like it's dipping to the point that it's unplayable or stutter, it's just a bit lower, that's it. And Genshin is so boring.
Silence. Bow your head.
Strike a pop.
The wind knows me. So
Oof.
many regrets. Silence.
Yoo-hoo! Ah.
Bow your head.
What the heck is that white bar thing on the health bar?
Who says there aren't benefits to a life of
Showing you through.
into the wind?
Is it what you wish to find? Hopefully the excitement of opening a treasure chest has at least made it a worthwhile experience.
Bow your head.
Yoo-hoo!
Wind strike.
Relinquishing these items into
Yeah,
your
I
possession.
think that's about it. We've been in the game for like 20 something minutes. Not gonna be an issue if you're just gonna walk around, do combat and whatnot. And also for doing dailies. I mean, that's mostly what people do for Genshin Impact, right? Yeah. So far so good. So we will just skip to the next game then. Genshin Impact has been so boring. Now for Zenless Zone Zero, I actually played this game using this phone at Taipei, and I already have a very good idea how this phone will perform. So as you can see, the graphics is the absolute highest, 60 FPS. Manually selected it to the highest, of course. So let's start off with the flower boss right away. Remember, this flower boss is very demanding because it renders everything in the arena. Even though the arena is super big, has a lot of tiny details, it just renders everything. I'm not too particularly sure about the render resolution of this game for this phone, but the experience should be quite good.
No one can miss it. Like that?
Aiyo.
It's over. You should move.
Definitely not doing my best.
No forgiveness. Ready for a fiery feast? A beautiful shooting star. Here goes. It's over. Purging flash. I can take him. Whoa, that's scary.
So you can see the temperature is rising quite, not to say fast, but it is rising. 40.3 degrees Celsius right now. We started at like 38, somewhere around there.
No room for mercy.
This boss is always doing some BS moves.
It's over. Like that. Amazing clothes. Press forward.
So now we are thermal throttling. As you can see, it became orange color there, and the frame rate has indeed dropped. The thermal limit is actually very low, 41 degrees Celsius only. So you can see it is trying to lower the temperature, which is why we are getting like sub 20 FPS. It is stuttering quite a lot.
My great victory is just in the shadows.
Aya.
And the winner is me.
And now the temperature has been lowered a bit. We are back to 60. It's kind of aggressive the way that they are thermal throttling it. I would expect it to actually behave better in a way that, in a sense that, you know, you can thermal throttle it gradually, not to the point that it just frame dips like this. Because to me, this is, they can do better with the tuning. That's what I'm saying. A software update would have actually improved the situation, but I'm not sure if they are going to do so.
Shadowless blade.
So you can see somehow we are past 41.1 degrees Celsius. We are 41.6 right now, and yet the frame rate is back to 60. I have no idea what the heck happened just now with the frame dips. I experienced it while I was using this phone to play the game actually, so it's weird. Shouldn't have done that.
It's over. Victory, the only option. Victory
So we are now at 42 degrees Celsius. And it's back to the sub 20 FPS. Again, the tuning could have been better if they just make it more gradual in a way that it doesn't just dip like this. And we're done. Look at the Giat. Oh my god, they even zoom it in for me. And so that is how the OPPO X9 Pro with the MediaTek Dimensity 9500 will behave in Zenless Zone 0 with the most demanding test. And now that the phone has cooled down a little, let's continue the test with Zenless Zone 0. I'll be doing the Shiyu Defense because I have not done, actually it's Shiyu Defense and the Deadly Assault, but whatever goes. The first team will be Ice and Fire, second one will be Pure Ether. And let's start the recording. The frame rate here will drop to 0 because when we're in loading screens it will just drop to 0.
My blade is already inadequate. Concentrate. Cycle of yin and yang. Scatter. I'll make it painless. Hurts, don't it? Catch him off guard. Press the finish. Here's a taste of the abyss. Oops, sorry. Catch him off guard. I'll make it painless.
A beautiful shooting star!
Find your weakness. Yeah.
Oh my god.
The final act begins now.
lurks in the darkness.
Ready for a fiery feast! Why are you laughing? Direct hit!
Hit him where it hurts. Let's make this quick.
Don't worry.
Cycle of yin and yang.
Release. Concentrate.
Lightning strike!
An opportunity. An opportunity. What a nuisance.
I don't think I can wait!
Allow me. Cycle of yin and yang.
Out to cream. Shift.
Pretty, right? On the moment!
Allow me.
That's a beautiful shot.
No escape.
Time for a surprise! Get away from me! What's the practice?
Now, you're the prey.
Interruption!
Sorry.
Come on! Don't be nervous! No one interrupts or business vacation. Not ever!
Oh, new voice line with this skin. Nice.
Wanna know what lurks in the darkness?
Now's my chance!
Catch him off guard. Don't get sloppy. Want some more? The final act begins now.
Get still.
Scatter. Shift.
It's thermal throttling time again. It's again really weird. I don't know why that it
An opening.
throttles the first time at like 41 degrees Celsius, but somehow when we are at a higher temperature it doesn't throttle that much. Or maybe I'm just this thing is reading it wrong, as in the polling rate is real slow.
Get still.
Release. Your fate is sealed.
Aha, thermal throttling is gone. Yeah, I do think that that tool's thermal, this thing, the polling rate is real slow.
Correcting the score frame. Obliterate form and spirit.
Okay, we are starting off while thermal throttling. And now it's gone.
Let's make this quick. Cycle of yin and yang. Active cream. Out of the light. Like a shadow. Let's make this quick.
Reverse shockwave.
Concentrate. Obliterate form and spirit. Swift yet still. Clear yet murky.
Zenless Zone Zero version 1.0 soundtrack, still the best.
It's over. Press forward. It's over. Hold it head.
I can take them. Isn't it pretty?
Weakling.
Purging slash.
Thermal throttling again. Okay.
Forgiveness.
The thermal limit is real low, that's all I can say.
Over.
Yeah, do some BS attacks again.
Save me a spot. Let's pick it up. Hey, let's have some fun. Go for it. Home run.
Press forward. My blade is already
Bang on.
Twist this. No room for mercy. Weakling. No forgiveness.
So overall experience is real good, it's just that the thermal limit is a bit low, 41 degrees Celsius, and we can hit it, well, as you can see, kind of easy, but not really that easy unless you're playing this game highest graphical settings and doing all this kind of intensive stuff, which I guess everyone is doing if you're playing Zenless Zone Zero. So yeah, that's it. Let's move on to the next game. Okay, now for COD Mobile. The graphics are gonna be real straightforward here. So we do have ultra frame rate, again medium graphical quality because this game is just weird this way. I cannot go higher graphical quality than medium but at max frame rates, but we'll make do with what we have. And here are all of the settings that we're gonna use. Super resolution turned on so that it renders in the native render resolution of the screen as well. So here are all of the other settings. I'll copy it to BR mode. Okay, let's jump into a game. Going to the circus because we are all clowns. Okay, I need a gun, but okay.
The safe zone is collapsing.
Oh my god, this assault rifle sucks. So as we can see, COD Mobile is not going to be an issue at all because this game isn't actually demanding. Yeah.
Watch out. K9 unit incoming.
What? Ooh! Okay, shouldn't have done that.
Airdrop has been delivered.
Sensitivity is a bit too much.
Enemy down. Down to the last 5 teams.
Ah, there we go. Done. So 120 FPS, no problems at all. COD Mobile is not really demanding, and probably we will skip this game in the future as well. We'll see how things go. Okay, I just went out for a few hours, had dinner, and now we're back. So for Wuthering Waves, I'm gonna show you that we are playing it at the highest graphical settings. I also played this game with this phone while I was in Taiwan for the past week. So as you can see here, everything highest. Also Vulkan API, which is a much more efficient API compared to OpenGL. So I'm just gonna do my dailies because I have not done any of them. I actually need to farm this for one of my characters, so that's why I'm here. And now it's time for the most intensive part of the test, which is this thing. I should go to this one first. So we will start recording when the loading is done and we can move around. So we'll start here. And remember, this kind of nest is very demanding for all of the phones that we've tested so far. So I'm very interested to know how the Dimensity 9500 will perform. So far so good. It's above 30 FPS at all times. Actually real good. They improve a lot. Of course we are only at like what, nearly 30 degrees Celsius because we are not thermal throttling at all. Nowhere near thermal throttling actually. You know what, let's fly to the next location, which is, I think it's here. Whoa. Correct, it is here. That was fast, real fast. So yeah, as you can see, it was always above 30 FPS, no major frame drops, which is good, but the temperature is indeed rising quite fast, I would say. Within just a few short seconds, we raised from 30 to 31.1 degrees Celsius right now. Our ambient temperature is 27, by the way. So let's go south, because there's also another nest there. I'm not sure if that's the correct way, but I think it is. It's really good. So far this nest is the most demanding out of all, because the previous generation of phones, all of them had problems with this. So I'm not sure how's the Dimensity 9500 gonna handle this. Okay, still above 30 FPS. Not sure about the power consumption, should be quite high. but we'll talk about that later in the analysis part, which is also timestamped down below. One thing I like about this nest is how tanky these enemies are. I won't waste my ulti just for these few enemies, so we just spam attacks, which is taking a lot longer than I expected. But there we go. Overall performance is still real good, above 30 FPS all the time. But then again, we are increasing the temperature little by little. And here's the city. Let's fly around right now. So this city is always the most demanding part of the game because it's just so dense and also detailed. It's actually doing really well. I'm actually amazed by this. At the lowest it's around 40 FPS, which is still real good compared to many of the other previous generation phones that we've tested, even on the Red Magic 10S Pro, which is to be expected because this is an entirely new generation of chips anyway. Yeah, real good. So maybe we'll go farm some boss. Still no problem, real good. Maybe let's play around some more and see if it actually thermal throttles and what's the situation gonna be like. Because so far it's doing real well, I would say. This is some tanky enemy. What the heck is this? The full rotation and only half of the health bar is gone. Wow. Oh, okay, it is some special enemy. I think we have hit the thermal limit. So thermal limit 41 degrees Celsius, this thing is real slow, so that's why it's not showing 41 degrees Celsius right now. But yeah, the frame rate very similar to Zenless Zone 0, because when we do thermal throttle, it will drop to below 30 FPS. Okay. Again, no idea why OPPO tuned the chipset to behave this way, because this is very aggressive in terms of how it thermal throttles. It should be more gradual. Actually, I prefer it to be more gradual because the previous generation of phones, it's not this aggressive. Now for CarX Street, for this game we're gonna use a controller because why not, it's a lot easier that way. And then for the graphics, we're using it at the absolute highest. So as you can see here, everything highest, motion blur on, anti-aliasing on, smoke intensity high, no FPS limit. So let's see how things go. I'm not good at this game, so I apologize. The texture pack for this game is not really the highest in terms of resolution because the reflections, they look jaggy. Yeah, that's a really weird word to say, but yes, it is jaggy. You guys could have seen it, right? The jaggy reflections, because we've upgraded to a 4K video right now for gaming tests. It's kind of obvious. Especially the rooftop, the sunroof of this car. Correct, CarX Street is 120 Hz, but then it is actually not. The camera button got cut off at the top right corner there, okay. I think we are thermal throttling, but we are still getting 60 FPS, so it doesn't matter, I guess. Okay, so there we go. Nothing much to talk about it here. 60 FPS consistent. CarX Street, not really a demanding game still. Maybe I will once again skip this game in the future, but let's see how things go. Now let's talk about Destiny Rising, because this game is just also not demanding, but for whatever reason you guys want to see it, so here we go. Audio and graphics, as you can see, we have already go max frame rate but ultra graphical settings. This is the most that you can do because it's kind of, what the hell. I also want to ask why is it like this, because we can definitely go higher, but whatever. This game is actually quite ugly. So let's just go around and see where to go. So yeah, this game is really not demanding, kind of ugly as well, so You wanna know why I mean this game is ugly? Look at this, how flat this is. The lighting is like non-existent. Yeah, it just doesn't look good.
This fella looks tough. Be careful, Wolf. That armored creature was giving orders to the feral ones.
This isn't a good sign. Zev, let's hurry.
There's no end to them. Had enough. Take this. Wolf, over here.
Who you?
Metro is dangerous. Watch out! Range combatants are stepping through. Such coordination between different troops. This is a premeditated invasion. Keep on going. I need to concentrate. Will buy us enough time to investigate.
These shattered trains. I recognize them. Is this the Jiangxi Metro?
Not entirely. This place is like patchwork, as if the metro was ripped apart and stitched back together.
Okay.
They just keep coming.
Its presence indicates that we are on the right track, right?
A bridge. From nowhere. Be careful. I doubt they're rolling out the welcome back from us. She's there. Let's take her down this time before she can bang.
Sister of the great creator. Your sin of trespassing this way. Atone for it with
Oh my god, this grenade launcher is so slow. Oh my god. Yeah, there we go. 90 FPS not gonna be an issue for Destiny Rising. It's not a demanding game anyway, so yeah, let's just jump ahead to the next one. For our last game that we're gonna try, we are not actually going to play the game to try it out, because this game, well, you will understand when we get into it, because game update is available. Nice. Okay, that might change something, I'm not sure. Let's update it and see how things go. Because initially when I downloaded it, it had some graphical glitch, which is caused by ray tracing. Probably is because the game has not updated to support the Dimensity 9500 yet. So the ray tracing, the ray tracing graphical glitches are there. Let's see if they fixed it with this update. No, they have not. Okay. As you can see here, all of these speckles are graphical glitches caused by ray tracing. So I can prove that by showing you this. If we just, we are at the maximum graphical settings, by the way. If we turn down ray tracing, we suddenly don't have all of that. What the heck? But if we turn up to high, then we have. So I'm not really sure what's going on. Probably it's because of the rendering pipeline not being supported yet for the Dimensity 9500. So yeah, I'm not gonna test it since it has this kind of issue. Not fair to test it anyway, so we'll just jump on to the analysis part. So Genshin Impact, as you can see here, we've been testing the game for about like 15, nearly 20 minutes actually, because I didn't hit record immediately. So as you can see, the temperature did slowly rise as time goes on. The thermal limit is at around like 41. The thermal seems to be a bit weird as well. The thermal limit is at 41 degrees Celsius, but throughout this entire test, I don't remember if we actually hit the thermal limit or not. But either way, it's mostly 60 FPS all the time. There's one weird tip here, which I think because I was teleporting, not really sure. But yeah, overall gameplay on Genshin Impact was smooth. Power consumption was about 5 to 6 watts. Somewhere around 5-ish, I would say, is the average. Our average, they gave us 4.74 by calculating all of the data, which is actually about like 1 watt less compared to the previous generation. So the efficiency has definitely been improved. The performance per watt, I mean. For Xenozone Zero, this is the flower boss fight. The temperature was starting at around like 39, 38, somewhere around there. And eventually it did rise all the way to 41. And then you can see thermal throttling happened and it dipped all the way down. And for whatever reason, the temperature kept on rising, but the FPS went back to 60. Why this happened, I have no idea. And then right up to around this point, which is like, I don't know what temperatures is, 41.9 I guess, and then it dropped once more. If you are thermal throttling at 41 degrees Celsius, then why does it go back up again and then thermal throttle again at 42 degrees Celsius? I think this is some sort of software, the tuning problem, and I really hope OPPO will fix this in the next update. These kind of things aren't exactly difficult to fix for them, I would say. Overall frame rate was actually real good. Oh, I should also mention the render resolution. Genshin Impact is at 1920 by 881, kinda typical. Xenozone Zero 1766 by 810, kind of low in terms of the render resolution, I would say. And this kind of thermal throttling is indeed very weird. So I think they will iron out in the next software update and whatnot. So as you can see, the CPU usage is 100%. The GPU, unfortunately, we can't log anything. And when it did thermal throttle, the CPU core clock speeds was the one to drop. But again, no idea why it raised back up, even though the temperature just kept on rising. Software bug? That's the best thing I can come up with. Overall wattage is kind of high as well. As you can see, we can reach an average of around 10 watts. It hovers around 8 to 10 watts. When it does thermal throttle, we drop back to around like 3 watts, somewhere around there. The lowest is at nearly 3 watts, I would say. So yeah, it's behaving kind of weirdly. The second test for Zenless Zone 0 is where we go into the Shiyu Defense. So as you can see, the temperature did indeed slowly rise again. So we eventually stopped at around like 43 degrees Celsius, somewhere around there, 42.5, around that. Thermal throttle once, thermal throttle the second time. Again, real weird. I have no idea why they kept on increasing the temperature, but then it showed sign of thermal throttling. Kind of weird. So yeah, overall power consumption average was 6.5, somewhere around there, but it can reach at a higher wattage as well. Okay. For COD Mobile, really no issue at all, as you can see here. 120 FPS consistently throughout the entire gameplay of like 20 minutes. As for the render resolution, COD Mobile is rendering at 2352 at 1080 pixels, kind of high. For Wuthering Waves, okay, this one is also showing the exact same kind of issue like Zenless Zone 0. So as you can see here, we started off at 60 FPS and we do have some dipping to lower FPS because we were teleporting. But for this game in particular, it didn't actually thermal throttle because we started at such a low temperature of like 27 degrees Celsius. That's my room temperature. And then, yeah, when we did reach to the later part of this gaming test, it did thermal throttle, also had the same behavior as Zenless Zone 0. So if you are not thermal throttling yet, then the performance is real good. When it did thermal throttle, then yeah, things get weird. The render resolution for Wuthering Waves is quite high, 2352 by 1080 pixels. For CarX Street, this is a very rough game, I would say. Now I know why everything looks so pixelated, because it's less than 720p. Okay, so overall 60 FPS, not a problem at all. Consumes about like 5.6 watts average. No problems here. This is where when we were driving around the city. And for this one is when we were at the race. Is it considered race? I don't know, but one of the challenges. So again, overall, nothing much to see. It was actually thermal throttling at 42 degrees Celsius. So yeah, it just maintained that temperature, but you still get 60 FPS all the time. There were 2 dips. I have no idea what happened there. So okay. And lastly, Destiny Rising. This is not exactly a demanding game, so we are getting 2354 by 1080 pixels. All of these dips is when we were actually teleporting in the game, or loading screens, I would say. So yeah, average was like around 5 watts. This is an easy game to run, so nothing much to talk about it here. War Thunder, again, we are not testing it in this video since it has some graphical glitches and it's just not gonna be fair. Overall, I would say the gaming performance of the MediaTek Dimensity 9500, particularly for the OPPO Find X9 Pro, needs a bit of tuning because of this weird behavior. So here, thermal throttle 41.9 degrees Celsius, 40.9 degrees Celsius, actually 41 degrees Celsius. Thermal throttle the first time, everything dropped, but the temperature kept rising and it spiked up to 60 FPS once more. And then when it reaches 42 degrees Celsius, it kind of realized that it needs to thermal throttle again, so everything dropped again. Kind of a weird behavior. I don't know why it's behaving this way. So this is just some weird quirk that I found out. Overall though, this is a great chipset for gaming, especially if you have a cooler, for now at least. I do believe that OPPO needs to fix this with some software update, then it will be even better. But as of now, I would say if you're playing Zenless Zone 0, Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, or whatsoever gacha games to do your dailies, then you won't probably reach to the point that it thermal throttles, because it's kind of difficult to reach the thermal limit even at 41 degrees Celsius. Oh yeah, I should also mention that the thermal limit is real low, 41 degrees Celsius only. Some other phones that we've tried in the past can go up to like 47, and it would feel uncomfortable to hold, but it is still very safe for the phone itself. The highest thermal limit that I've seen is actually 55, 60 degrees Celsius. those phones were impossible to even touch. But either way, that's all that we have to share with you here in today's video about the gaming test of the brand new OPPO Find X9 Pro with the MediaTek Dimensity 9500. So if you have any other questions regarding this phone and the gaming performance, you can leave it down in the comment section below. I will try to answer it if I still have the phone. And also do remember to check out our full review, which should be out on our channel in a few days or a week from this video's publication date. So do remember to hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to reach 100k real fast, real soon. So your support really means a lot. And also do let me know, do you like this kind of gaming test in 4K? Because we are gonna continue doing it here this way as well. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.